Alright, so today we're just going to do a few upgrades on a SIG P365. Got a barrel, new guide rod and spring system. Got the striker spring, sear spring, safety plunger spring, trigger bar spring, flat trigger, and a new trigger pin. First we'll do the slide. Just got a little plunger right here. Some versions you just press down, this one you got to press over and down. Get it over, down, slide off that back plate. Start sliding the striker assembly out. You have to push the plunger down. And the plunger comes out, there's a spring. Alright, that's taken apart. Alright, so first you got the striker. Just take this spring, pull it down. This piece will pop off. Spring should look the same on both sides, so you don't gotta worry about which way you put it back on. Just hold the spring down. Pop this back on. And you can release it. Just take the plunger, put a spring in the channel, goes towards the outside. Just feed it down in there. Press down, feed the striker in, you can release it and the striker is held in place. Alright, then you push the plunger down, push it in even more, and whoop. So that's back together. New barrel, new guide rod and spring, and the slide upgrades are done. Alright, next for the trigger, take a little 3/30 seconds, pop out that back pin, fire control unit just slides out. Now this is a safety version, not much different from this one and a regular one. Just get rid of the safety first. If the safety won't go up and down, you just press this lever up, it'll pop this lever back, and you'll be able to start moving it. It is a little spring-loaded rod right there. Whoop. Make sure you don't lose that. There's a little spring inside of it. The thinner part will go into it. Right now we're just going to take it off. Rotate it down. I have these channels that will let it come out. Alright. You'll push this back up so you can rotate your takedown lever. At that point you can lift this out. It's held in with a little spring right there. When we put it back together, that right there, you'll feed it under the spring and push it back up to put it back in tension. After that, we'll lift this right here out. If you're just doing a trigger replacement, you don't have to lift it out all the way, or else your safety lever can fall out, but we're taking it all apart, so it doesn't really matter. Just wiggle this out. This right now will drop right out of it. Take this back end out, that'll be easier. Then you can take down your takedown lever. After that, you got your spring right here. Just locks into a little hole right there. You just push it out. Also wraps around. Focus. Wraps around right there. A little gap that it feeds into. Take off this. Push the trigger all the way back and should be able to take this right out. Just take that out. You have this pin right here. Usually the pins aren't that hard to get out. Holy moly. And then your trigger will come out. Got this little, just slide this down. Then you have access to the sear pin right there. Comes out this side. I'll just push it through. You can hold your finger over the sear just to make sure nothing escapes, but it really shouldn't. About that. Then you can drop the sear out. Not all of them have that hole. Some will just have a slot in the bottom. This is how it orients. Focus. Focus. Motherfucker. Now, this end, drop into that channel right down there. Right there, and the small side of the spring will rest on this. Alright, now we'll switch the parts out. Alright, goes back together, same way it comes apart. So first we'll drop this in. You have to line up that hole right there. If you have trouble, you can use a punch. Feed it through the other side to make sure it's lined up. Sometimes it can take a little wiggling, but it'll get in there. All right. Get the punch in. I'll push that spring up. Leave it out just a little bit so you can get the trigger bar back under it. Get it. There's a hole on the side of the trigger that this will feed into. So you got it grabbed. And then we'll put the trigger pin back in. Slide this back on. Flat side goes towards the inside of the gun. And take your new spring. Feed it through that hole, lock around on the side. So now that's all in tension. Put your takedown lever back in. There's a little groove on the bottom of it. That's what this fit into. And this will feed under this pin. That's why you don't put it in all the way. Let's try to actually put the back in first. Back is in. Just kind of push it in, snap it in place. And at that point you can finish pushing that pin in, locks everything in place. Right. Slide release. Take the bottom part up under the spring. And it should just index right in that hole. Push this forward a little bit to get it to go past. Good there. Put the safety back in. snaps in place. You gotta press it in pretty hard. Push it flush against the side, and then just get the safety back up in there. You have to have the safety on fire to be able to push this lever forward.